Here, and Russell Wilson is the topic. Number one, if there are so many, excuse me, if there are so many good black men, why do black men hate good black men so much? Why is it once you get represented or you get the stigma of being a quote unquote good black man, why is it that now all of a sudden you're lame, you're corny, you're, a simp, a punk, whatever? That is something that, I think is very indicative of the fact is that being a good man, a family man in the black community is not prized or looked at as a good thing with the collective of black men. Number two, wanted to talk about, the fact that, in the black community, the men love F boys like Future. Those are the men they glorify. Those are the men they look up to. Those are the men they want to be like. Those are the men that they envy and have this like homoerotic relationship with. But men like Russell Wilson that actually do what they need to do, or at least, because I don't know Russell Wilson personally, but seem to do what they need to do as a husband. Those are not men that they put on the pedestal. They put the worst men on the pedestal and then are surprised when people think that they are, as a collective, terrible. Because why is that the person that you're striving to be like? Number three, men telling women all the time, because every time I see when women attempt to talk about like Future or anything like that, I see men telling women like, oh, you would go if Future wanted to in a minute. You would drop your man for Future. You would be with him. You would. Russell ain't hitting on what's Future hitting on. I wish that men would understand how actually that sounds. Like, do you like men? Because what it is that if Future wanted you would go, which is why you trying to tell women what they would do with a man. How do you know what they would like unless you like that man? So I really wish that men would understand that. First of all, that makes you look extremely uh non non straight. I'm just trying to use certain code words, you know what I'm saying? But I have no idea why you would think that that's actually something you should be saying as a man. Number four, men tell women to take accountability, but actually hate if women actually do it. Now, people tell black women all the time, take accountability, stop wanting this type of man, stop wanting that type of man, choose better, choose better, choose better, choose better. But when women actually do choose better, men don't like to see it. Men don't want you to actually choose better. They don't. They want you to do whatever it is that they were talking about so that they can continue to drag you in the mud and beat you down in the ground. They do not want you to do better. If you are a woman that's promiscuous and you're having intercourse with all of these men, they don't want you to stop doing that. If you're a woman that has children, that's had children by multiple men, they actually don't want you to stop doing that. Anything that men say that they think is terrible that women do, they never want you to stop it. If they say that you're interested in like thugs or bad boys or whatever, and you decide to say, you know what, you guys are right. I shouldn't be dating these thugs. I shouldn't be dating these bad boys. I should actually be looking for nice guys. They do not really want you to do that. They don't. They want you to continue to do that so that they can talk about you all day, every day, and say how much of a horrible woman you are and you don't deserve anything except to settle for them. And I think that Ciara is a perfect example of that. Like, people talk about this lady like she is not a celebrity, like she is not a singer with number one songs, as if she's not well off with millions and millions of dollars of her own money. They act like she's just some homeless lady that was off the street that got with Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention she's extremely beautiful. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Number five, I wanted to say also, men are the only ones that are allowed to make mistakes and be loved after. Men can be ran through. Men can have slept with a million different women. Men could have beat a woman. Men could have abused a woman. Men could have lived the most worst, disgusting life as possible. But they are allowed to make those mistakes and still be entitled to a decent woman. They'll probably be looking for a virgin after they've done all of these things. They can make mistakes and be loved after. But women, if they have done anything that men perceive to be negative, that woman is supposed to be off limits, the scum of the earth, unworthy of love, attention, affection, a life, a good life, anything after that. And I think that we have to address that insane, psychotic double standard. Truthfully. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, that's what I wanted to talk about today. If anybody wants to talk about this, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could just send me a request today. If anybody wants to talk about Ciara Russell Wilson in future, please send me a message and we can talk about it. You know, I really think the reason why Ciara makes so many men upset is because she's representative of maybe their baby mama that left them, or their girlfriend that left them, or they have a girl right now that they are not worthy of, that they are not deserving of. And they think that if that young woman or woman, whatever, older woman, whatever, ever thinks that she can do better, she will leave them. And they want to destroy Ciara because they don't want any woman to ever have the hope that she can do better or get a better man or whatever the case may be. I really think that's what it is that men do not want women to feel like they can be treated better. So they want you to get with them, and whatever mistreatment that goes on, they want you to say, you know what? I'm a woman and this is my plight. I am to be mistreated, abused, cheated on, disrespected, degraded. And no, I am not worthy to find another man. No, I will not find another man. If I have a child, I will not be able to find another man. If I have ever dated another man before, I'm supposed to stay with this man. You know what I'm saying? And I really do believe that that's a big part of, it's just the whole idea that men don't want women to ever feel like they can do better or be treated the way they want to be treated. And my thing is this, is that you will have men constantly tell women, oh, it's a lot of good men out there. It's a lot of good men out there. Y'all just choosing wrong. Y'all just choosing wrong. It's a lot. If there were a lot of good men out there, why do y'all demonize good men? So-called quote unquote good men. Why do you call good men simps? Why do you call good men punks? Why is it? I saw a man that literally got on TikTok and said, I love my queen. I don't say no to my queen. I do whatever she asks me to do. And all I saw were men attacking that man for saying that he does what his woman asks him to do. He wants to make her happy. Now, it's a whole bunch of miserable men that don't have a woman, don't have a girl, don't have a relationship, yelling at this man who's happy with his woman. And y'all are trying to demonize this man for treating his wife. It doesn't make any sense. This person right here says that you're proving the point by avoiding accountability for not taking accountability. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, I really wish that y'all had never learned the word accountability. In what world did I not take accountability? What are we talking about? What is taking accountability in this instance? And how would I take accountability? Are you mentally well? That's exactly what I mean. Y'all learn words and then y'all just start using them and y'all don't even know the context of what y'all are even saying. What? What? Anyway, all I'm saying is exactly, Maya, like, accountability for what? They say that for everything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody sounds angry. I'll send you a request. You know what I'm saying? I have a job. Does your mom have a job? Like, I'm at home. This is my job. Doing what I'm doing right now. That's my job. So there you go. So where's your job? If I don't have a job because I'm doing a live, then do you not have a job for typing in my live? Do y'all ever think about the things that y'all say? Like, I really just don't even understand. I really just, it doesn't even make any sense. You tell me that I'm on live early in the morning, but you're in my chat early in the morning. Like, what? So are you not doing the same thing or what? I'm gonna go ahead and block the both of y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Corey, you're blocked. Goodbye. Let me go over here to the next person. What was the other person? Jaden Martin. You. Oh my goodness, you look like a Dusty. Jaden Martin, you look like such a Dusty. You look like you don't even. Let me just block you. Have a great day, Jaden. Goodbye. Be blessed. Have a great day, sir. Jaden Martin is also blocked. As I was saying, like, yes, they didn't even answer my question, which was ridiculous. Like, I asked them exactly what are they saying, and they didn't even ask. Anyway, like I said, it was like, how can you ask me, do I have a job or what am I doing because I'm doing a live early in the morning, but you're in the live as well typing? Aren't we doing the same thing? I just what? I just I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. Yeah, Jaden Martin, he's gone. He's blocked, y'all. Okay, so anyway, if anybody wants to talk about this topic, y'all can send me a request to get in the box and we can have a discussion about it. But I can guarantee you the men will not really be able to have any discussion about it because they don't have a leg to stand on. You know, that's why, like, anybody can say that Future is not a good man. But yet he has a cult following of men that want to be like that. But y'all want to say that, like, women are the problem? Uh, Glorifying that type of behavior, like, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Future have, at least when I looked it up on Google, it said that he, at the bare minimum, he has 8 children by 8 different women. In what world is that a type of man that y'all would want to be holding up on a pedestal? I don't know. I'm sure that that man has some type of strains of HPV or herpes bubbling and doubling on his genitalia. So, yeah. Let's see here. L. Will says we glorify the whole culture with our community. What our community? Because there are plenty of black women that don't glorify that. I separate the black community from black men because black men and black women have 2 different types of community. Period. But go ahead, Zeta.
Good
Good morning.
morning. Okay, I just did a video on my TikTok account about this thing. I'm so annoyed. I am, my thought on this, the men that are making these think pieces and have all this disdain for Ciara are projecting the fact that their mothers were not chosen. Their mother was not able to find a suitable father for them. So now they're mad at all women that are able to rebound from a dusty relationship and get their children a suitable father to care for them. It's all projection. They're dusty and musty, and they know their mom couldn't do what Ciara was able to do, and they resent it. They need to be on that lady's couch going ahead and dumping that trauma because that's the only logical explanation. Like, Ciara and Russell don't bother nobody. They raise their children, including little Future, raise their children. That little boy is getting a wonderful life with his father, his real father, which is Russell. And these men are punching the air, mad because their mother was not able to accomplish that in their life. That is the only logical explanation.
All right, Zeta. I definitely think that you have a point for sure. You know what I feel like I think is very strange as well. It's like, I've been reading like all of these different comment sections of men talking about Future and stuff like that. And what I see is men say, when women say, oh, yeah, Russell's a much better option. What I see is men say, oh, that's not true. Future, if Future wanted you, you would leave Russell in a minute. If Future wanted you, I know Ciara don't really want Russell Wilson. I know that she wants Future. And I really wish that men would understand that when you say things like that, being a man, that means that you're attracted to Future. You think he's
Exactly.
sexy. You you
Exactly.
you would have intercourse with him. You would be down.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of them don't understand. I think they think we want the bad guy. Now, some of us go through that phase where we like the bad guy. We like, that type of guy. As we mature, we want the Russell Wilsons. We want that guy that brings peace into our life. And if a woman really doesn't want that peace, I think they may need to seek therapy as well, because there's something within you that crave or thrive off of the drama. But once you unpack that and you understand life and understand what having a healthy relationship is, we're going to always choose that Russell Wilson each and every time.
Uh, you know what? I was looking at the people in my live. I accidentally added up this person, his passport, red pill. Oh my goodness. Let me say, to piggyback off what Zeta was saying, me personally, as I was growing up, I never liked thugs. I never liked bad boys. I never liked men like that at all. In my life personally, I know that there are women that have liked those type of men. I never did. I was like, if you look like you two, I remember when I was in high school, it was this boy, and I will never forget him because he ended up getting unalived when he was like 19 or something. It was a big deal, but I remember when I was in high school with him, all the girls liked him, and I was like a super nerd. And I remember one day I had come to science and I had got my hair done or whatever, and he was like he stood there, he was like, "Oh yeah, you look really pretty today," and I was like, "Thank you." And so he was telling his friends over there, he was like, "Doesn't she look real pretty today?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 her hair look nice." He asked me, could he take me home? I was like, absolutely not. No. And I remember all the girls was like, what? You told him no? I was like, he a little bit too much of a bad boy for me. I've never, 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 ever, ever liked boys like that in my entire life. And so I think that another thing that we have got to really admit in the black community is that people say that there are a lot of women that like bad boys, and I understand that there are, but we never talk about the homoerotic relationship that other men have with bad boys, that men actually are attracted to and like those type of men, which is why
Right.
those are the type of men that they put on a pedestal. Because I don't ever see family guys, family men that really are about their women, that really seem to like really love them and put them on a pedestal. Those are not the men that black men prize in the black community. They always prize the worst of the worst, the low lives, the womanizers, the men that run through women, the men that engage in criminal behavior. It's always a thing where people act like that's just the women. I believe that black women, even having that desire, some black women having that desire, is a symptom of black men. Black men are the ones that created gangster rap and glorified criminality and bad behavior and made black girls and black women be comfortable with being called the B word, being called a lut, being called a thought, being called all of these disgusting names. They're the ones that glorified that behavior and went and put it to music and made all of these elaborate music videos where they glorify bad behavior. And then now they're surprised that these women have now taken on that whole ideology of what they've glorified. Because there's plenty of men that also want to be thugs that think that's the cool thing to do. And I think that no one ever talks about that at all. Who started this whole idea of thuggery and foolishness and bad behavior in the black community and glorifying it? It was the men first, period. So I have no idea how you can be mad at women for thirsting after something that you bent your back, you bent over to glorify. But anyway, I know this is only gonna last 2 seconds. Passport, bro, red pill. Is this this looks like the picture of a guy named Charles Brooks that I see all the time in
Hmm.
comment sections bothering black women, but he says he's married to a non-black woman. So I have no idea why you're always in spaces with black women. Is that you, sir?
Well, that's my picture. As far as the ideology, you're making that up.
Yeah, so why aren't you with a non-black woman? Yes or no?
No, no, I'm with the black woman.
I could have sworn I saw you in a live saying that you were with a foreign woman or something like that.
Just because she's foreign doesn't mean she's not black.
Okay, so I'm a black American. So why wouldn't you go in spaces to where you can talk to married black men or something like that? Like what would be your purpose to come in here? Because anytime I've ever heard you
Well,
speak,
I like
all you do is
I
talk
like
about how bad
to.
black women are. Black women are the worst of the worst. Black women are bad. Black women are mean. Black women are nasty. Black women are nappy headed. Exactly what would anybody get out of, especially a black woman, out of having a conversation with you? That's a legitimate question.
Well, it's a society. It's a societal issue,
Yes,
right?
and what
So
what would somebody want to
I
hear
like
you talk about it?
discussing. I like discussing societal issues.
Okay,
You
well then
see.
I think that you should discuss the societal issues that plague black men because
Well,
that's
yeah,
something
I
that
can
you
do
would be
that
aware of.
too. And I wanted to address her claim. I understand that a lot of you women, you are intimidated by
Yeah,
educated.
okay. And I'm gonna tell you what, a lot of you men are intimidated by a washcloth and toothpaste. And it's very clear that you are intimidated by taking your diabetes medication because those doggone bags underneath your eyes indicate that you got a lot going on that you need to get a blood panel ASAP. So I really don't even have anything to say to you. I really don't. Like I said, I accidentally clicked and added you up here because why in the world would I want to listen to a man that looks absolutely horrific, that is not married to a black woman, talk about things that go on in black American society? If you don't get your old washed over the hill, using Viagra possibly to penetrate that poor woman that has decided to stomach your private parts for a ticket to this country, please get up out of here. I have no idea what is wrong with y'all. Like I literally don't know. Y'all say y'all don't like black women or black American women or whatever, but y'all sure stay in our spaces. I don't care about nothing you talk
Exactly.
about. Like what?
They always in black women's business, black American women's business. They always have something negative to say, and I try not to engage. I do not go into their spaces, but they always find their way into our spaces when we're discussing things. And as soon as I saw his picture, I knew I think I've seen him around. I think he's married to I think she is black, but I think she's African. I don't know if that's the one, but it's so many of them. And it goes back to these red pill, all these men having problems with black American women. And my thing is, it's the hatred of their mother. They hate their mothers because their fathers left and abandoned them. It's not that the father abandoned just the mother, their father abandoned them because many of these men, when they turn 18, they cannot tell you why. Now your mother's out of the picture, you're an adult, you're 18. Why is your father still not there? Because a lot of them try to blame it on their mother. No, now that you're an adult, where's your daddy? Why don't your father talk to you? He can come up with every excuse in the book. They can hate women, but they can never tell you why their father never rekindled a relationship when they became an adult. They have that mother wound and father wound. They need to heal it, and they take it out on black women. Point blank. Period.
I definitely agree, and also I'm very concerned with black men like the guy that was just up here, like that go around and try to spread their misery and hatred to every black woman that they come across. I find that completely to be strange. I mean, I find that to be completely strange because I've seen this man. I have blocked him, but I'm on my backup page today. But I have blocked him. He's always on panels talking about black women and how black women are the worst of the worst and all of this, and trying to be in spaces with black women. If black women are so bad, why are you always trying to talk to them? I think he gets some type of like sick kick out of like talking about black women to black women. And I just don't believe in doing that, especially with somebody whose whole face takes up their whole profile picture. Like their head is just so big, it just take up the whole thing. I refuse to talk to a man like that. I refuse to talk to a man that I will cross the street if I saw him and say ill, ill, ill. Like if I know that if I saw you in person, I would say ill. There's no reason why I'm gonna have a conversation with you. Like I mean, I guess I could. I've had conversations with many men that I find disgusting here on TikTok, but just him, I find him actually super repulsive. And there's just nothing that he's going to say that's going to bring any value to anything. Because we're talking about Russell Wilson, and I can guarantee you when he was saying we were going to talk about like the community and all of this other stuff, the community he was going to talk about was just going to be black women. That's it. Like I honestly, that man is so disgusting. Like I feel sorry for any woman that has to stomach a man like that just to get over here in the States. And I think that he's also a perfect example of a man. The reason why the passport bro movement speaks so much to him is because he would not be able to qualify for a woman that did not have survival on the line. So the women over here, most of them are not in super survival mode where they would have to be like, you know what, it's either me eating today or me entertaining this man. So he had to go somewhere else and find a woman that had to choose survival over her very mental state of entertaining a man so disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But and
Absolutely.
but anyway, let me just get back to Future. I do think that the fact that men even are, like I said earlier, get mad at women, some women, for having a desire for a man like Future when men literally put Future on a pedestal to this very day. Like men know that Future's a bad father, a bad parent, that he runs through women, he harms women emotionally, he has nothing to offer. They know that, but yet that man is still prized and valued. So I don't understand how they could be shocked and surprised that Ciara or other women would be attracted to him as well, just like they're attracted to him. Because men are the main ones that put men like this on a pedestal. So it's just like you caused the problem in the first place. If you were to also glamorize good men, if all of you were to strive to be that way, and not make that seem like that's not masculine, because a lot of women are attracted to hyper masculinity. It's not the way to go, but there are a lot of women that look at, okay, let me see who's the most masculine presenting to me. And a lot of women connect dysfunction and bad behavior and disrespect with masculinity. So I don't know.
And,
Yes, and
and
y'all go ahead. Go ahead,
oh,
Zena.
I was gonna say, and another thing, like with one of your prompts, they're always talking about accountability. And I saw someone say this, and it spoke volumes. They say they don't want Black women to have accountability. They want us to be punished. So they don't want Ciara to be accountable because she is accountable. She took care of her son as a single mother until she married Russell. So she took the accountability. She was the one that was there. She took care of this child and she secured him a real father. So she was accountable, but they don't want accountability. They want us all to be punished.
Yes, and that's exact, and I totally agree, and that's why I was saying like men are the only ones that are allowed to make mistakes and be loved after. If there is a woman and she's made any type of mistake, especially a black woman, she's not allowed to be loved after. If she's had some relationships with men, if she's had children, if she's made a mistake in who she's chosen, that men want her to suffer and pay for it forever. To always be like, you know what? Yes, you're right. I'm the lowest of the low. I'm worthless. Nobody should ever want me. And I think that a lot of men do that, especially men that nobody else wants, is because they hope that if they can take a woman that's attractive, like Ciara, that has something to offer, but if they can beat her down mentally enough to where she feels like she was worthless, that maybe she will give some of these men that would never get a piece of pussy from nobody, maybe they can get a woman they don't qualify for, maybe by beating her down to the ground mentally and emotionally and making her feel less than. I think that has a lot to do with it as well, that they feel like if they shame all women and make all women feel like they are nothing, that maybe they can get some women that they know they would never be able to have access to. Otherwise, maybe they can get access to them. Because black men know that Sierra is an attractive, beautiful woman. They just hope that she would have to get with, somebody just very low on the I don't want to. they very low in the scheme of things. They were hoping that she would have to entertain a man like that. But to see her get a quote unquote high value man, and I don't even like to use that word, but to get a quote unquote man that is, he had no children, he has a good reputation, he has money, he has some fame and stuff like that. For her to actually go higher up is where they had the problem with. If she would have got with some dude that was like, working at Waffle House and she was the one paying all the bills, they wouldn't have any problem with that. They wouldn't have any problem with that at all. And I find
Yeah.
that to be really, really disgusting, because men that they got men that's homeless, men that's ran through, men that have did all type of horrible things, the men that have just got out of jail from doing 15 years. Those men are supposed to be over. Why can't you give that brother a chance? Why can't you give him a chance to let him up? He's doing better now. Why can't y'all give him an opportunity? Men that have done the worst of the worst, they feel like those men deserve a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to me. Like I said, the only people that are allowed to make mistakes and be loved after are men. A woman do anything, she's supposed to be just suffered and tortured for life. But go ahead, supervillain.
Good morning, Trey. Hey,
Good morning.
panelists in the comments. I just want to say, get the likes up, please. Let's get Trey to the likes that she deserves. We have this space for a reason. Let's protect it. Ah, man, this conversation, it's always, I'm not gonna say a hard one, but a frustrating one. I'm first going to say that Russell Wilson, he interrupts the pattern, right? He goes against status quo. This is a successful black man who chose to be with a woman who had a child from a previous relationship when he could have chosen anyone. And not only that, she's an unambiguous black woman. So he's breaking all the NBA, NFL player rules at the same time. That's one reason why they're upset. Number two, they hate a woman who course corrects. As much as they love to dish out lessons and giving women dating advice and telling women to go a different way, when women actually course correct, they hate it, because it's just like the healthcare system. Once you heal, you're not coming back, right, for more medicine. They want you to come back so they can keep abusing you. One thing I always thought was funny is because these are the same men who are talking about free Cosby. You know, Cosby technically was the educated lame. I'm talking about Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show. So it's not about being lame, because y'all love Bill Cosby, and Cosby was what y'all call the lame guy, the good dad from the TV show. But y'all can't stand Russell. This is why I said the math will never math up. Don't take anything they say with a grain of salt, because they're always lying. They're mad that she course corrected and she's happy and her children are safe. One thing I'm gonna tell y'all that black men can't stand is some happy children. I said it. I don't care. Call me the bad guy, but I don't. There is something about a happy fat black woman and happy children that black men can't stand for one reason or another. Not all of them on an individual, but as a collective, they just can't stand it. Russell Wilson literally did everything they say that would solve the black community. He made one less broken family. He made a nuclear family. He's in. Oh, go ahead, Trey. I know you got to do what you got to do.
Sorry, thank you, supervillain. You already know me so well. James, let me tell you something. James, you are an old, over the hill, past your prime, going on the blade and the track and trying to pay $40 to girls that are disenfranchised on the corner, that nobody will ever in their life deal with or be with, a miserable old buzzard that's probably bald headed underneath that hat of yours. You need to get your miserable, over the hill black behind out of my life. And I really don't understand you miserable old buzzards that never ever had a piece of pussy that you didn't pay for in your entire life. Why y'all have so much to say. If you didn't want to hear what somebody had to say, you could easily take your geriatric behind out of this live. You ain't got to be in here. Nobody made you be here. You wanted attention by talking about block me now, when you could have easily got your big bucket, bald-headed, bucket head behind out of my live. So what is the deal here, brother? You could have easily clicked out, but you wanted attention, so let me give you the attention that you deserve with your patchy old taco meat having beer, with your doggone hoodie that you got from the convenience store that cost you $9.99. Please get your lame $1.50 in a bank account behind up out of here using KY jelly to pleasure yourself at night all alone in your grandma's basement. Please get your behind up out of here, James. Get up out of here. Don't nobody gotta block you, James 1148. Like, get out of here, bro. Y'all get on my nerves. If you don't want to hear what nobody got to say, you said let's compare men. What are you talking about? You want to compare men? So you like men? Oh, okay. So now I see the problem. So you mad at us because you ain't us, James? Do you understand how G that sounded? Let's compare. I'm too through. Are y'all scared? Do y'all see the type of men that be online? James said in a comment, let's compare men. Y'all cannot make this. I cannot make this up.
Child, I'm like,
I
who gonna
cannot
be the
make this
boys
up.
and who be the girls and who gonna be the girls? If James is one of the girls, who gonna be the boys? Who's
Oh.
the
How many men do he got? He sound like he ready.
Ooh. This man got a lifetime membership to Grinder. He probably got a lot of men. James, you got to do better for real. Like, you got to do better, James, for real. Look, you will never, ever, 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 ever be a lady, James. And you have to accept that. And you cannot be mad at us ladies for being so fortunate to be blessed to be born with XX chromosomes. All right. So I'm sorry. James. Okay. You know what? James? You said let's compare men. I only have one. You said let's compare men. You know what I'm saying? So I think your throat hurts way more than mine, James. You know, I heard they be wearing your throat out. I heard you the throat goat over there at them glory holes when y'all meet up with y'all little lovey-dovey situations on Grinder, James. Your throat the one that be hurting. I heard you the throat goat. You give a good gawk 3000, James. Okay? All right. James, you know what? You if you think I'm gonna block you after this, but if you think that I would dare entertain you enough to show a picture of myself to a man that looks like he should be out there in the dirt rolling around like a pig pen, if you think that I would ever in my life entertain you, sir, you got to be kidding. You can say whatever you want to say about what you perceive me to be, but your perception of what you think I am is not reality. However, I know for a fact what you are. So hold on. Before I get you up out of here, let me show you again just in case you forgot. I know for a fact that you are a big bucket head, bald headed, overweight, over the hill, miserable old buzzer who doesn't have a single person that cares about him in this world, which is why you were up in my live, miserable, bitter, and angry at me talking about Ciara and Future and Russell Wilson because I attacked your boyfriend in your brain, Future. So you can make all of the assumptions that you want to about me, but I know the facts about you. And I know for a fact that you are an old, overweight, over the hill buster. Now, I said all that I'm going to say to you, James. I've given you enough time and attention, but let me go ahead and block you. And you said that you like white tea women. Okay. So then why aren't you there with them? But matter of fact, I'll block you so that you can go find the white tea woman's live of your choice. Okay, James? Goodbye. Have a nice life. All right, goodbye. James,
You know what I wanted to ask him? How long he been out of jail?
girl, you know that you saw them dead eyes he had. That's a man that definitely did some time in the pen. They normally come out with them dead eyes. That's probably why he was talking about let's compare men. Cause you know that's normally when they get their some of their first experiences when they get locked up over there and they drop that soap.
But it
We
speaks
do is recognize a
volumes.
felon every single time.
Exactly. But it speaks volumes. We get on this app every day, and the women that he said he like constantly come on here telling us they don't only bathe twice a week. So what that says about James, that he's proclaiming to like the group of women that don't even bother to wash their behind but 2 days out the week.
He's used to that. He's a felon. How many times do they take him back to
Yeah.
Lord have
Is
mercy.
it still skipping, y'all? Can y'all tell me if y'all hear the live skipping? I just blocked some dudes that were in here, so hopefully that took care of it. But y'all let me know. Okay, yeah, I blocked a couple dudes that I seen in the guest request. It's crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like they be so, and it's crazy because that man was talking crazy to me. But then when I start talking crazy to them, then it's a problem. I never understand that. Like black men are the most lame dudes in the whole entire universe because y'all want to talk crazy to black women, but then when somebody say something to y'all, now y'all in y'all feelings and y'all want to report the live and y'all want to get so mad and get upset. Like he came here talking about some block me. Negro, you know you could have blocked yourself. It would have taken you nothing but 2 seconds to block yourself. You just wanted to make a big deal so that somebody gave you some attention. So I just gave him the attention that he was asking for. That's why I don't understand why he was mad. I just gave him the attention that he wanted. That's what he wanted. He wanted the attention. So I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, like I said, I really do get tired of every time Ciara is mentioned that there's such a visceral response to this when I think everyone knows that Future is not a good person, he's not a good man, he's not a good anything. So exactly what are these men so up in arms about? But then they want black women to feel like the majority of the black community is filled with great men. If that's the case, the icons of the black community for black men wouldn't always be low lives and bums. Go ahead, supervillain.
Yeah, and I had wanted to add to I think earlier we were just saying that a lot of the time these men have some issue with their mom, and I'm not even putting that on black women anymore. Of course, I'm not saying that there aren't degenerate mothers, but a lot of these men also come from y'all favorite two-parent households and upper middle class experience, went to private school, all that stuff, blase, blase, blase. Like some of them had loving families and they still choose to be degenerate or favor degenerate behavior. So I'm not even gonna put it on the parents anymore because like I said before, my father didn't teach me good money management skills. I can't call my electricity company and say I don't got the bill this month because my father didn't teach me good management skills with money. Like at some point as adults, we have to blame them being adults. Again, a lot of these guys come from good families, loving mothers, even loving fathers, and they still choose degenerate behavior.
Yes, I definitely agree with you, supervillain. Let me go down here to Miss Gabrielle.
Hey, good morning. I definitely did want to weigh in on the prompt because I have a lot of thoughts on this. I think the answer to number one is because they see themselves more in Future than they do in Russell Wilson. Like the quality disparity between both of those men is glaringly obvious, and so men who are like not great people, which is like most of them, they're obviously gonna gravitate more towards Future, and that's why they'll say stuff like, "Oh, Russell Wilson is a simp. He's this, he's that." Like anytime a man is calling another man a simp like that really tells you like everything you need to know about the extent to which they devalue women. They don't respect women. They, and to a degree where they genuinely get bothered, when they see, men like Russell Wilson, who are respectful and who do, like love their wives and who are, like active and safe and like present and involved, partners to women. And I think number three, I think that's just projection. Like it's like the men who are saying that, it's like they somehow think that Future is appealing because like they somehow want to be Future, want to do the things that Future did, or they will basically want to live vicariously through Future, and so they're projecting, and saying that women would choose Future over Russell Wilson. Like and this is like part of the red pill thing, because like these red pill men, they really do have this illusion that women want to be like mistreated and, abused. And it's like, it really is mind blowing, like the cognitive dissonance of, of men who think like that. So yeah, number three is definitely a mix of projection and delusion. And then number four, yeah, the whole accountability thing. I mean, that is projection too, because the same men telling women to take accountability, they don't take accountability for, the role that they play and, their relationships failing. They don't take accountability, when they have kids with a woman and then walk away, or when they only care about their kids to the extent that, they have access to that kid's mother. So there's no, really accountability there. And I think that kind of ties into number five as well, because it's actually funny. I was just scrolling through like Twitter. I just saw this poll showing that there's like a growing basically gap between what like most men or most young men and most young women want. And I think it does boil down to yeah, about men being the only ones allowed to make mistakes and be loved after. Because in the poll that I saw, like basically it showed that like that now there's like more young men who want kids than like young women, and the comments are like full of like men complaining about women not wanting to have kids as much, and then women are saying, well, like pointing out all the like justifiable reasons why we don't want to partner up with men, and yet men are just expecting us to forget about all this stuff and excuse it. And basically they just are just wanting women to just shut up and have babies and take whatever poor treatment they dish out and keep it moving. And thankfully, women, especially like women in my generation, I'm 27, so I think that makes me like one of the older Gen Zs, like really, really young millennials, one of those. But there is a growing pushback against that. And so I think that does tie into number five in all of this. Like the unfortunate thing is that for every like one Russell Wilson, there are at least like three futures. And, so that is why there's more men who will identify with Future, unfortunately, than Russell Wilson. I think Supervillain made a great point. I actually did make a post about that on Twitter. Yeah, it's like easy for men to say, oh, women just need to have babies when they don't have to risk their lives, their health. Study after study shows that in most cases, women take on more child rearing responsibilities than men. So, I mean, all of this stuff really does like kind of intersect with everything in the prompt, because, if there were more, men who were like Russell Wilson, there wouldn't be so many men, identifying with, Future. But I'll land my plane there for now. But that's just what I think.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Gabrielle. I think you made a lot of good points. Let me go down here to Miss D.
Oh Lord. Oh, good morning. Sorry, I was looking at this thing at work. These people need to be fired. Anyway, that's another discussion. Okay, for the first one, I definitely believe that okay, if there are so many good baby black males, BMs, or whatever, why do BM hate good BM so much? It's a deflection. If you really are that great of a male, you're not going to constantly point the finger at women for speaking out about their experiences. You're not going to deflect. It's always the ones that, if it's a hit dog, they will holler. It's always the ones that everybody is talking about that hollers the loudest, that always has something to say. It's always that. They feel some kind of way. They're triggered. They're unhinged. They're always in their feelings. Number two, BM love F boys like Future, but dislike men like that is absolutely true. They want to be them so bad. They want to live that whole rock style lifestyle. They want to get the females. They like everything that comes with it, right? But yet they don't want to be called out for the bad things, right? It is not cute to have a whole bunch of women. Okay. It's not cute to have a multiple females pregnant. It's nothing cute about that, but they get away with it. It's the whole negativity towards it. Men telling women, oh, you would go if Future wanted you. No one would. No, you would. That's another deflection. Real women don't want that type of man. They want somebody like Russell. It's the young women. And I have to use my little cousin as example. She said it. I like Future. I don't see nothing wrong with him. I would take Future over Russell. And I'm like, okay, no, stop it. It's the, how can I say? I don't want to use this word, but it's the 304 type of women. The women who they don't have nothing to offer. They want that lifestyle, the ones that follow the Kardashians, that want that idolize that number 3, that basically they want the guys like him. They see nothing wrong with it. Men tell women to take accountability, but hate if they actually do it. They do that all the time. Men do it all the time. But the moment we have standards, the moment we hold them accountable, oh no, women should always, no, y'all need to choose better. Okay, people wear masks and we are trying to choose better. It's not always our fault. How about you look at yourself? Why not blame the guy? They don't never blame the guy. They always blame the female. It's always that way because they are exactly what we should stay away from. It's a deflection. Men are the only ones allowed to make mistakes and be loved after. In their mind, they are the only ones that can make mistakes. But let us make a mistake. It's always our fault. What did you do? What did you do wrong? If we complain about anything, if we have any experiences that were not great, what did you do wrong? What role did you play in it? We've already self-reflected to see what we've done wrong, pretty much giving them second chances, staying around and not looking at the signs for what they were, not using our discernment wisely, not fixing unhealed trauma so that we don't select somebody that's, similar to what we do not want. And I'm gonna land the plane.
All right. I'll just say, you guys, I really do think that something has got to be done with the way Black men, demonize men that actually treat women with respect. I do think that that's something that we as women have got to call out more. And also, because I don't think that men are going to admit this publicly, but I think that we need to also call out more of their like I said, I believe it's like a homoerotic, thing that these men have with men that treat women poorly because they're attracted to those men, because and I believe they're attracted to these men because they are able to treat women in a way that they wish that they could do. But a lot of them don't have what it takes. Maybe they don't look good enough. Maybe they don't have the swagger, the charisma that attracts some women into getting with men that treat them poorly, or the money or the looks or whatever. But I think that that's something that we've got to address, because the more that is shamed, maybe that could stop all of this, even though I really don't honestly think that what we do as women can stop that. The only thing I can say that would, because there are women like that are attracted to low class, bottom of the barrel men. There are women that are attracted to men they have to take care of, that they have to do things with. And I think that the more we could get more women to be totally disgusted by men like Future, that would be the better. That would be the best. Just Me says, nah, y'all have the power. Stop granting access. Just Me, that's exactly what I just said. I think that women have got to stop entertaining men like this. But I do think when people say like, oh, just stop granting access, I think that people also neglect to mention the part on the behalf that more men than don't want to ascribe to be somebody like Future as opposed to Russell Wilson. So nobody even mentions the fact that the market is saturated with men that want to be piss poor men as opposed to men that want to be good men because good men are demonized. And I don't even want to just say in the black community because it's not just the black community either, which is why men like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, who have a very large non-black following, those type of low life, bottom of the barrel, disgusting men are put on a pedestal as well. And those are the type of characters that these young men are trying to emulate. They're not trying to emulate the good behavior or the behavior that'll actually get them a woman that likes and cares for them. They're emulating the bad behavior. So I don't know. A super villain, you had something to say?
And Trick, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm even thinking about it like when they call Russell lame and things and comparing him to Future. I'm like toe to toe, like even in a fist fight, Future would never never see Russell in a fist fight or no type of combat. So for them to be talking so much smack, Russell would destroy Future. So again, this is why I say they're so dishonest in their talking points. They're calling Russell lame. But if they had to go toe to toe, you telling me they putting their money on Future?
You
Like
have a
no
good
pew
point.
pews in sight, no pew pews. They putting their
Mm.
money on Future over Russell. Come on now, these dudes be lying. I don't know why we still listening to men. They are liars.
Yeah, supervillain, I totally agree because you have to think Russell is a professional athlete. He is healthy, he eats well, he exercises, and we know a lot of these rappers, they live that turned up lifestyle, drinking, using, non-prescription, what's all the things, not eating well. I mean, freaking lemon pepper chicken wings and Hennessy, that's what they're living off of. Meanwhile, Russell is in tip top shape of his life, and they really think Future is the future. Like, if he's gonna be in better shape, no, Russell is not a lame. He is in great shape. So I don't think he can be able to handle Russell if it came to a mano y mano type situation. So I can definitely agree with that.
All right, all right, Zeta. Let me go down here to Gabrielle. She said she had something to say. Go ahead, Miss Gabrielle.
Yeah, so I think what we're seeing with the whole Future and Russell Wilson thing, I really do think it is a greater symptom of like red pill and manosphere culture, which is like going crazy in 2025. I mean, it's like at the core of it, like there's just something about men who don't like women, and they really do get like enraged when they see, a man like Russell Wilson or like other men just like even just seeming to like their wives. Like I've said, like there have been, like cases of like a wedding and like the guy or like the groom is like, genuinely happy and like cherishing his bride, and like the comments will be full of, like other men, calling him like, oh, you're a simp, oh, you're glazing, you're this, you're that. It's like they can't stand to see women treated well. It's like they really do want to see women degraded. And so, I mean, I unfortunately I don't think it's going to change because like when it comes to, red pill and manosphere culture, the genie is really out of the bottle. Like they detest women so much to the point where they think that just being a man who just genuinely loves your wife or even says things like, let's say a husband gets a job offer, he wants to move, and if the husband says like, oh, I need to talk to my wife about it, like these like wannabe Future guys will say, oh, that's G, or that's a simp, like you should just tell your wife that you're moving because that's what a real man does. Like I spend so much time online. I'm like a chronically online person, and I just see the extent to which red pill and manosphere is just really spreading like wildfire. And it's like, I mean, I don't disagree with anyone saying that, Russell Wilson is like in better shape and could take Future in a fight. But I just think when it comes to men who are idolizing Future over Russell Wilson, it goes beyond that. It's like they if they had the option to either be Future or be Russell Wilson, they would choose Future, and they would treat women exactly how Future has treated women, and they're genuinely enraged by Russell Wilson, regardless of how much money or fitness or status or whatever it is that he has. They don't like him simply because he loves Ciara and treats her well. And unfortunately, like I said, for every one man like Russell Wilson, there are like three Futures. And at this point, like I mean, I don't know how it gets fixed, but I'll just land there for now.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Gabrielle. I just wanted to say, piggyback off of just one thing that you said real quick, and then I'll go to Miss D. I will say that back in the day when I used to show my face on my YouTube channel, and it was like a video that my husband came on, right? Because I had made a Kevin Samuels video talking about him, and then like all of these men were all underneath the video talking to me crazy and stuff like that. And so my husband was reading all the comments and he got mad. And so he was like, yeah, look, we'll just do a video together because I'm about to address these dudes and stuff because the stuff, the way they saying, the way they're talking to you, I don't like it. So we did the video. And then after we did the video, a lot of guys saw the video yet again. And they were saying, oh, bro, yeah, you had to make a video with your husband. He's simping for you. He trying to protect you. Look at that. Look at that. And it's just like, are y'all delusional? Isn't a husband supposed to protect and stand up and defend for defend his wife? Is he not supposed to do that? But they were making that like that was like a negative. And that's when like and that happened because I stopped showing my face on my channel like due to unaliving threats and stuff like that. That was like at least like a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago. I don't know. It's a minute ago. And that right there, that was when I really realized that there were a lot of men that really truly they want a woman, but they hate women, and they don't want to do anything that is actually what you're supposed to do when being in a relationship with a woman. They don't want to protect you. They don't want to provide you. They don't want to defend for you. They don't want to do none of that. They consider all of that weak behavior. All they really want in a woman or a girlfriend, a baby mama, a wife, whatever, is a slave, a ex-slave, and that's it. They don't want to talk to her. They want to be able to be somewhere watching TV, watching sports, or gaming all day long. They don't want to talk to her. They don't want to see her unless they want to have intercourse. And or they need her to clean up the house, or they need her to go 50-50. That's when I realized that it was really a serious, crazy problem. But yeah, let me go down here to Deep Miss D. Go ahead, Miss D.
Oh my God. Like everything you said and everything the other lady said, like I agree 100%. And I have a story myself. Like I remember I was talking to this guy. Well, I dated him or whatever, unfortunately. And he said a comment, I need you to be my peace. Anytime they say that, it's a red flag. First off, you need to stop saying it. It ignites something in myself that says, okay, if I have any concern, anything that is obviously important to bring to your attention, it's always going to be presented to you as a problem. And that it's something that I just put out there, and that, oh, it's all my fault. And I shouldn't have to be your peace if you are being a man of value, a man of standard, a man of principle, somebody that people would look up to, like a Russell Wilson, right? Someone that, is just a good person, a standout person, or a stand-up person. This individual told me, oh, I can't be there for your colonoscopy. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy, but I ended up not having to have one or whatnot because I just took it as guys saying, you know what, nothing was wrong, and it wasn't nothing wrong. They couldn't find my veins or whatever. After having like 8 people try to stick me, they couldn't find a vein, but I drank water. So anyway, he made a comment that was very mean. Yeah, if you wouldn't have went to go visit your friend, I would have been there for you. And I said, you know what? I'm glad that, we're done. Seriously, we're done, because that's ridiculous. So what he was doing, it goes back to what you queens were saying. They try to punish us. They do not like us being happy at all. They use things against us. And it's a lot of unhealed wounds that they need to fix. It's a lot of unhealedness. They need to get the therapy. I'm not pointing any fingers at the mamas, at the daddies, because at this point, it don't matter if you come from a 2-parent home. It don't matter if you come from a single parent home. At the end of the day, it is your job to fix yourself. I go to therapy. I go twice a week to fix things, to work on things that within myself or whatnot. Whether it was things that I caused, whether it's things that I didn't cause. Guess what? I'm not pointing a finger. I'm in therapy because I know that it starts with me. And I just wish that these men would take that step and go get therapy and stop even talking to us. Go fix yourself, because at this point you're going to hurt everything in sight until you fix what's within, because hurt people are hurting people right about now. And it is ridiculous. It's to the point where I'm glad I'm happily single. I'm happy being single because, I don't, it's kind of hard for me to get into a relationship, because when I do, I definitely want to exist. I want the relationship that I've had before with great guys, where I can just exist, where I'm not told that I'm to this, to that, or whatnot. I just want to exist. And excuse me. So it's so hard for a lot of us to get into a relationship because we don't want to be hurt, and we don't want to have anybody try to control us or try to dim our light. And I want us to have that love. I want all of us to experience that, and I hope that I will experience that too again. But it's just very
Yeah.
hard.
I wanted to say it was a pleasure talking with you ladies. I got to jump on a Teams meeting. I'm going to be down in the comments and I'm going to be listening, but I am, trying to make my little coin. So I got to jump in a meeting. So you ladies have a wonderful Monday, and y'all keep your foot on these guys' necks.
No problem. No problem. Thanks so much for coming up, Zeta. All right. I think it was Gabrielle that wanted to say something. To D, and then Supervillain after her. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I just think Dee made some really fantastic points because I really resonate with what she was saying about like dating and just like the lack of safety in relationships. And like, I know I keep going back to Red Pill, but I have unfortunately for the past few years like just seen a lot of what they say or what they're telling men to do in relationships, and like they are openly telling men like do not make women feel safe in relationships. Like I saw verbatim a guy, he had an entire chalkboard out and he was like drawing lines from picture to picture, listing out these reasons of like how to make a woman not feel safe, how to progressively give her less and less in a relationship. There was another guy who like went semi-viral on TikTok. He admitted that when he was dating this woman, he intentionally made her like feel, I think, emotionally unstable or like gave her anxiety. And he flat out, this is not me paraphrasing, he flat out word for word said, I didn't give her safety because if she felt safe, she wouldn't need me. And so it really is that bad. And like me personally, I know Dee said it's been a few years since she dated. I have not like been in a relationship for like like going on like maybe five to six, or yeah, at least like 5 to 6 years. It's at least at 5 years at this point, and I'm 27 years old, so that's like most of my 20s. And like I haven't even, and like it's been like over 2 years since I've like actually met a guy, clicked and been interested in him, because it's like just so many of them are into this red pill stuff. And then it's like you go on Reddit and you read about women who have been in relationships and they talk about not feeling comfortable, or they talk about, oh, this guy was great, but then when we moved in together, he like flipped the switch. I like it is just, like almost like an epidemic at this point. And it's like they don't want us to feel safe in relationships. They don't want us to have emotional security because they're so insecure and so needing to always have a one up on a woman. So it's like, and then they wonder why the birth rates are declining. So I just really think Dee made some great points. And like, again, I'm not saying it's every guy, but like I do think for every one great guy out there, you've got three bad ones. And so it's like, this is like, unfortunately, I think this is where we are. And like, I don't know, like I don't know how you put the genie back in the bottle at this point, but unfortunately, just like from what I'm seeing, like I said, I am online a lot, so I do follow this stuff pretty closely. Like the state of affairs between men and women as a collective is not good, and there is just like a growing gap for with like relationships, life goals, political ideologies, and it's like, and then when you add red pill on top of that, it just makes it almost impossible to date, because it's like, how do you date someone who just wants to take and take from you? So that was it for me for now, but I just thought Dee made some amazing points. I just kind of want to piggyback off what she was saying.
All right, all right, all right. I got you, Miss Gabrielle. All right, let me go up here to Miss Supervillain and then Miss Carmel. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Yes, I just actually want to piggyback off the last two ladies. I loved what Gabby said and Dee said. And to Dee's point with the therapy, I am going to be honest. I'm never one for solutions with, for, or by men. Y'all already know I'm the neighborhood misandrist. So I am more about women, especially us Black women, getting therapy. The little Black girl inside a lot of us is not healed, and it's not a destination, right? It's a journey. It's going to be work that's going to be continuous. I feel like just being a better person for self is always a good route. Now, will you end up married or single? Either or, where you end up, you're still going to be a better person. And that's why I always say do it for self. I know a lot of these, we've discussed this before. Dating coaches say level up this, do that, do things for men. No, you need to do it for yourself. Again, wherever you end up, married, single, you're gonna be a better person. And by the way, like what Gabby was mentioning, instead of working on being better men and being great husbands, men are actively learning how to manipulate you. The easiest way they can hurt you and trap you. So, what sense does it make to do all this work, twist yourself into a pretzel for men who want to purposely not do good things for you? This is why I say do the work for yourself, because again, and end up married or single. I can't tell you what to do with your life or what's gonna make you happy. I know the single route is making me happy. I've been semen free for the last 15 years. It has led me to a great knowledge about men. But again, I'm for women doing what they want to do, and some women want romantic relationship, and I'm not gonna fight that. The only thing I'm going to beg of you is if you're going to do the level up route, if you're going to do the therapy route, do it for self. Because again, either way, ending up married, single, or paired with someone, you're still going to be a better person. These men are actively doing things so they can manipulate you and not be the best. They're not going to therapy or they're not going to dating coaches so they can be the best husband and the best father. We talk about this every day. They're always looking for ways to manipulate women. So I just wanted to just throw that little piece out there. I want to also touch on one of the prompts, but I'm gonna spin the block because I got to do something real quick.
Okay, all right, all right. I got you, Supervillain. All right, let me go down here to Miss Carmel. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Trigger. Good morning, panel. I just can't believe that I done caught another live back to back, you know. It's definitely exciting. And just wanted to, like I said, every opportunity I get to catch your lives, I just want to come give you your flowers and, just give you, just tell you thank you for the space and, for Black women to be comfortable enough to just have these conversations. You always have great talking points. But yeah, it's honestly, I don't need, I'd be kind of speechless. See, I don't need, I'd be kind of speechless, which is crazy because I am perfectly aware of the degeneracy that's running rampant, and not, in our community, but, not just in our community, but and not in our community, but not just in our community, but just men in general. I was watching your YouTube video this morning about the ginger guy. I think you had like the topic on your live the other day, and I meant to ask you about it because I wasn't sure the ginger person. But anyway, I ended up coming across the video on TikTok, and then I seen your YouTube this morning, and showing clips and stuff like that, and it definitely was triggering as heck. But yeah, like that red pill ideology and everything like that. I really, I feel like like yes, like the collective of women are waking up, and not ignoring it, or I just, I don't know, like it's definitely a lot to be said that can be said about these talking points. As far as the whole Ciara and Russell Wilson thing, like yes, like I see it on a constant, basis of men wanting to they really just want to keep women at, in a place of, how can I say, like a place of like vulnerability, scarcity mindset, that scarcity mindset type thing. Like, they know that we desire companionship and, love and, to feel protected, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever, what I'm saying? And it's just like they are perfectly aware of that. They just purposely choose not to give it to us because they want to keep us starved, like I said, just in that scarcity mindset type thing. So it can be easy for us, it can be, we, I just feel like that's why like a lot of women are desperate. You know what I'm saying? That's why they are, we keep seeing women who are constantly getting into relationship with felons or constantly, and it's not an excuse at all, but I can see why, what I'm saying? Like we keep seeing these repeated things going on, what I'm saying, where, women are just not making the best decisions. And it's just like there's really just not anything to choose from. And I know I can easily go off on a tangent about this, but it's just like I said, it's not an excuse, but I can see why, and that's why I feel like it's a little dangerous when I hear people talk about, and this is not, like as women, I know we're not a monolith or whatever, like we all, you know, deserve to have our own opinions and to look at love and things like that and companionship. But for me personally, I feel like it's a bit dangerous to say things, like, oh, like every, God or whoever you believe in, didn't make us to be alone, or we, that whole soulmate thing, like, we all have a soulmate out there or whatever. Like I feel like it's very dangerous because me personally, I don't really believe in those type of things. I feel like, we're not all here, I don't feel like we were placed here just solely to find um romantic relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you have to reach a level of self-actualization as a man or a woman, but more so women, because that's who we're advocating for, especially Black women. I just feel like we all should be striving to reach a certain level of self-actualization, and if the romantic relationship comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. um just be okay with that, you know what I'm saying? Because these men are not out here daydreaming about companionship and soulmates and finding the love of their life. Half of these men aren't even looking to marry the love of their life. You know what I'm saying? They just looking to marry who, whatever's convenient or whatever the case may be. And I know it's not all men. But I mean, like I said, I can definitely go off on a whole tangent about this. But yeah. I don't know. As far as like the whole therapy thing too, like yes, I definitely feel like therapy is very, like really, like it's an important thing. And just like another live the other day, I think Supervillain was talking about, and like another one of your lives the other day about uh, a life coach, and I just thought that that was a great idea. My little sister's 25; she has a life coach, and she's always talking about like getting a life coach. I've always had therapists or like counselors, but I've never experienced a life coach, and that's definitely something that I want to do. But definitely not in hopes of trying to be a whole person so that I can find me a husband. That's not the goal. The goal is to create myself whole or to heal or whatever, just all of that, just to reach a certain level of self-actualization for myself so that I can just be healthy minded for me and my kids and whatever like that. Like if a husband come or a man come, he comes. If he don't, he don't. Like that's not the end all be all. But I'm gonna go ahead and land there.
All right, all right. I got you, Miss Carmel. Let me go up here to Miss D. D had something to say?
Yes. So I had another point to make, like, okay, so this to piggyback off of all these queens, and it's just really sad. There was a lady by the name of Faith Green. She was in Detroit, right? She was married to this man. Now, her father was a preacher, right? This man had been locked up, right? And this woman had two beautiful daughters, had them, right? This man had already had a past of unaliving his first wife, right? And an unborn child. So the father, who was a preacher, told her to marry him, right?
Oh yeah, I know this story.
Yes, yes. And like even when I heard like I remember it was just really sad. Then he unalived the two kids that they had together. And it was just like I have to believe that her father was a narcissist. Like a lot of these men, when they allow men to do these things, and the father did not even feel like he was still wrong. Like the husband was wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, he was a narcissist because narcissists, that's the way they move. The people that have narcissist personality disorder, whatever, they move that way. They don't never see people as a problem. And it's really sad. Like she was so desperate to get with this man that and I bring this up because I've had former friends that have dated people that have been in the system, and they post these photos of y'all. I've seen these photos before on Facebook, and it upsets me because you should not have just anybody in front of your kids. It's just so, oh my God, it's pathetic as a mother to even do that. Like, why would you want to have those people around your babies and they shouldn't be around your kids? Like, it's like you don't care. To me, when you become a mother, you have to think about having good people around your kids. It's not about you anymore. It's not just about you. It is about your kids. And I'm tired of this story, and I'm tired of the same violin being played. It's always the same song to the point where we have to understand that you shouldn't have these people around your kids. And I don't understand. I will never understand, because I'm not trying to understand this at all, that why you would even be that desperate for some peen. Like, why?
I think there's a multi-layered thing to when you think about that particular situation. I think one, yes, the lady was desperate and thirsty to have a man around, because I have no idea how you could ever trust a man that already unalived his previous wife and his unborn child. That's just insanity. But I also believe that it's also in the black community is brainwashed to put on to the black community, black women and black men, but more specifically black women, to accept black men that have done the worst of the worst of the worst, that they deserve some type of grace, acceptance, forgiveness, all of those things. And that went right to it. And also there are a lot of men, black men, that hide behind the Lord, hide behind Jesus, hide behind God to rationalize bad decisions. And that's also a part to play with it. And I don't know why people always act like, but that, like, I don't want to even make this a religious conversation, because I know everybody don't believe in God or whatnot. But I really hate it when people always make it seem as if God wants you to be a complete idiot. That's why there's a scripture in the Bible that says to be cautious like serpents and gentle like doves, because he never meant for you to be a dummy. Like, he never meant for you to be a fool, but everybody automatically takes that that's exactly what you're supposed to be in the name of God, a dummy. And it's not true. And anybody that would ever use God to rationalize being with a man that had actually literally unalived somebody is a fool. But there are plenty of people that misuse the Bible, misuse God, misuse all of these principles. And then that makes everybody else think that certain things are represented, when if you actually look into it, it's not. The same way you have people that, like, people that just be like, oh yes, I've got to forgive this person that raped and murdered and chopped up my daughter. I got to go over there and give him a hug because that's what God would want you to do. And it's not true at all. Like, and I really wish that people would understand that a lot of that stuff is not coming from the, like, people have lied to you. And a lot of people that really believe that don't have any type of knowledge about what they should, that they're totally wrong in it. But yeah, I do think that a woman that did anything like that is completely crazy. But I don't believe in beating black women when they're down. She made that mistake, and unfortunately her children had to pay the price. But I can guarantee you, I saw the court proceedings of that, and that lady definitely regrets it. She definitely has learned her lesson.
Oh,
It's just
yes.
sad that you just got to learn your lesson and that way your children had to pay the price. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna make this video today. I really was debating because I don't think that I can be nice in making it. I seen this big buckethead lady up here on TikTok today. She said she was talking about the black girl that lost her life, Dakara. I think her name is Dakara Thompson. She's 19 years old.
Yes,
She got
yes.
unalive. They found her new body. So it was this black woman. She made a video and she was saying like, oh, she was out here selling her cat and she ended up getting unalived and basically saying that's what she get. The way she said it, the way she talked about her so bad, it was like in the comments, it was like people laughing and put laughing emojis like, oh, I don't want to laugh
Triggered.
at
That's
this.
what I was talking about yesterday. Like
Oh,
It
literally,
happened out here in the
that's what
DMV.
but did y'all
that's what
see?
I
Are
was
y'all talking
talking
about the
about
lady video?
yesterday.
The
No,
lady video?
I'm
No,
talking
no,
about Dakara because it happened
no.
in my area in the DMV or whatnot. And I seen that her friend said, please stop putting these videos up. She was in her defense saying, y'all need to stop because I seen a lot of them and I disagree. Like, regardless, that's somebody's child. Like, you don't say no stuff like that about nobody. And at the end of the day, you could look at the video. Like, wherever she went, she was planning to leave. She left her stuff in the car. So
This
it
the
was like,
lady right here. This the lady right here
oh
that made the
wow.
video. And then she was over here talking about somebody like doing better, and she got a whole bunch of stars tattooed on her cheeks, looking like a low class bottom of the barrel buster. Like, I really like honestly, I'm not. I know I have mentioned before times that I feel like sometimes people need hands, but I'm not a violent individual. But honestly, I really do believe that people like this need to be smacked in the mouth for real. Because why would you, these people haven't even had the opportunity to bury their daughter yet. And you online talking about this young girl that lost her life. Like everybody in this world has made a mistake being a teenager, and a lot of people have made mistakes that could have ended up in their unaliving, but they didn't. They managed to survive. And she has a little girl. I went through her videos. She has a little black girl and a little black daughter. And how would she feel if something happened to her daughter and people was online saying the things that she was saying? It made me so mad. Like, I was so mad because there's no reason why you as a black woman, and then not to mention that this woman right here, she got tattoos all over her legs, all over her arms, all over her face. Like, but just as easy as she's able to like stereotype and pigeonhole this black girl into something and say that she's not deserving of anything, what does she think would happen if she was unalive and people go to her page and see all of these tattoos on her face and legs and breasts and arms? What does she think that people would say about her? They would say, oh yeah, that's what you get, that's what you deserve. I just, what I'm saying, some things that black women be doing, and I know it's not all of us, but some things that I see black women do be so absolutely horrifically terrible that
Yep.
I just be like, I can't even look at you as a black woman. Like, this is a woman that I can't even give the grace that I normally give black women to, because I look at her like she not even a part of us. Because how dare you? I cannot imagine ever setting up my camera to talk about a 19-year-old baby. That is a teenager still who was
Yeah.
unalived in the worst way. And
Yeah, he talked
make
her
fun
out
of.
like trash, like she was
Yes.
trash. And I'm very hurt by when I hear women or people in general talk about kids when they have children. I don't have no children, but I advocate for children. I'm sick and tired of it. It's not right. Like, I stopped being friends with somebody because they made a comment saying, oh, you know what? Aaliyah, she wanted that stuff. And I said, how can you say that when you have sons? Like, you are not right. Like, to me, I feel like people are they are ill in the head, because my thing is, that's a child and they took advantage of her, and you don't know what she went through, and you are a woman. And it just really, it really let me know that they are male centered. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I got rid of a lot of male centered people. It started like clicking to me, like, you know what? These are all male centered. Like, a lot of the stuff that was going on, I got rid of them. It was the comments they made. And
And
ever
you know
since I
what,
got
D?
rid of them, my life has been so much better.
And you know what,
Seriously.
D? I will, and I agree that a lot of women that say things like this are male centered, but I don't talk about this much because I really do like to focus on like the positives about black women than the negatives, because there are so many places that black women can go to hear the negative if that's what they're looking for. So that's the reason why I don't really talk about the negative that much. People be like, oh, do you hold black women accountable? Everybody in the world is always holding black women accountable. But I will say this: there are some very, very mean, nasty, and evil black women out in the world. There are. And there are some evil black women out there. And I think that, that's not something that I talk about that much, because a lot of times when you mention that, people will try to use that to make it represent all of us, or try to say, see, she said that there's some black women that's evil, so that translates into it being all of us, when it's not. But there are some very evil, underhanded, dirty black women that you cannot trust. And sometimes it's not just because of men. It's not just because they're male senator or pick me. It's because they are mean and nasty and evil. And that's just what they are. And sometimes black women have horrible things that happen to them in their lives, and they choose to take it out on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that plenty of times in my life. For real. I remember this one time I can't even remember. I was at some like store, like, a department store or whatever. And they had like, it was like a 2 dressing room, right? And I was, waiting to go into the dressing room. And it was like a black woman there with another black woman, and like like a daughter, like I don't know which daughter, which mother, which black woman she belonged to. And the black woman was just looking at me all crazy. She was saying, I hope she don't think that she finna go in this dressing room first, even though I was waiting there. And then the other black woman was like, what's the deal? Like, she just had such a like evil, nasty spirit. And I could have easily, you know what I'm saying, return the energy. And I just remember asking her, like, are you okay? Like, is that like, I didn't even ask you with an attitude, because I was genuinely perplexed at like what her problem was, because I wasn't doing nothing but just standing there. And I asked her, I said, are you all right? Are you okay? Or is everything okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm good. I was like, well, if you really want to go to the use it first, I said, I ain't got nowhere to go. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in a rush. If you want to go first, you can. I don't have a problem with it. And it's just like it like almost took all the wind out of her sails, that I wasn't willing to engage aggressively. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm a very confrontational person. I have no problem being aggressive with people. But it was just like, it was just so crazy to me that she was acting like this, and it was no reason for it. But I think that's another thing that we one day have to talk about as well. Like black women that are just evil, mean, and nasty for no reason. You know what I'm saying? My ex-husband's sister was like that. Always had an attitude, always was mean, nasty, and evil for literally no reason at all. And it was just like, what is wrong with you? Why are you always miserable and evil? It don't matter if the day's going well. It don't matter if you just got paid. You just always are just mean and nasty and evil and just hateful. And it's just like, bro, I don't move like that. I at least got to have a reason to be mad. My God, bro.
Super Villain got her hand up.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, super villain. Go ahead, sis.
Hey, Trey, and this is gonna be deep. I'll try to be brief. Maybe it'll be a conversation for another time. But especially in the black community, I'm gonna say specifically girls, but I'll just put children. One of the most underreported crimes is incest and molestation. If you catch my drift, um, a lot of us are walking around with traumatic experiences that were never validated. And in adult, it comes out as bad behavior. Again, because of the black male worship, a lot of us had to grow up with the person that victimized us. And in adult life, it comes out as nasty attitude. Now, that's no excuse, right? Because, again, once you're an adult, you are responsible for yourself. But I want to say, yes, the covering up, the protecting a lot of these black, and actually, I'm not even just going to put it to black males with this. I'm going to put it to adult, covering up of a lot of adult behavior on men and women's side, because they have also been women abusers. I'm not going to take that out because that just erases the trauma that those who have been affected by women go through. So I'm just gonna put everybody in this because this is about the children at this point. A lot of us, our trauma wasn't validated, or we never got to speak up, and it exacerbates in our adult behavior. This is why I don't know if you notice, oftentimes when I come on here, I always like to end with going back to that child in you and talking to that child, validating that child. Again, one of the most underreported crimes in the Black community against children is incest and molestation. We're told to that boys will be boys, or whatever happens in this house stays in this house, right? We're often taught to forget about it, or we're making it up. One thing kids don't do is forget. It's in the back of their mind, it's in their subconscious, but they always remember. Again, we carry that with us in adult life. I also want to say, because of the incest that happens so much, and it does, a lot of us are mentally ill or have an issue because of that inquest. Like, a lot of our um like fathers are, we're supposed to be like our grandfathers, or just a whole lot of, the whole color purple thing. Basically, I don't want to go, to protect the life. So, like, not just traumatic, but actual physically in our DNA. A lot of us have the mixing that causes a lot of these issues as well. Like, again, it's a deep thing that deserves its own conversation, but I have to be honest and also bring that up because that's often, a lot of time, left out of the conversation. And I thought it was so important that you said sometimes it's not male centeredness, it's the evilness. Yes, the evilness that derives from some, some people are just going to be evil, and some things definitely happened in childhood that manifest in adult bad behavior. So I'm so glad that you brought that point up. I just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you, Trey.
No problem, supervillain. I definitely agree with you, and I'm glad that you said that for context, that sometimes can be the case. I just, like I said, man, seeing that lady say those things about that young girl, like, honestly, it really hurt my feelings. And I just can't imagine, because I have a teenage daughter, and I just can't imagine something happening to her and me going on to social media and seeing somebody say the things that she said about her, and we don't even, her body's not even resting. I can't even imagine, like, how enraged I would feel. And then to see that it came from a Black woman as well, like, I just feel like I would just be on crash out mode. I'd be trying to find that lady IP address or something like that, because that's just like, come on, man. That just, I don't know. That just really disturbed me. And I was like, I would make the video. I said I was going to make the video and just go ahead and type it up and record it before I did this live. But then I was like, let me just go ahead and do a live first and calm down, because I just, even though now that I'm still talking, I still feel like it's not going to be a nice video, because that really pissed me off. It really did. It made me
And
super
do
pissed
you
off.
mind if I say something really, really quick? I'm sorry,
Yes,
I really
yes,
do
yes.
not want
No,
to
no. Go ahead,
disturb.
Miss Carmel.
Yeah, but no, that's what I was trying to say the other day when I hopped on your live. I didn't get a chance to mention it, but before, because I haven't seen the lady you're talking about with her live and what she was talking about. But yes, like when I first was seeing the story about the car, because like I said, I grew up in PG as well, and it's actually a couple of Black women, young Black women, who have went missing under like the same kind of like suspicious circumstances. I mean, even though it wasn't, too so suspicious with her, because they did say that they had CCTV of her willingly getting into that man's truck. I don't know why they haven't released it yet, but anyway. But yeah, it was definitely hurtful, because I kept seeing, like, when I kept going on the news articles and like the YouTube videos, and all I was seeing in the comments were people assuming what the heck she was out there doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, why are y'all making it a point to focus on that and make that the focus about, oh, what she was out there doing, or why was she with him? Or they just automatically jumped to assuming that she was selling her body. And it's like, at the end of the day, even if she was, that did not it never warrants for her to be unalive. You know what I'm saying? Like, or degrading her. And I see that a lot when things are happening with women in general. If we are being unalived or abused in some type of way, it's always people are always quick to victim blame and act like, oh well, she deserved that because or if women weren't focused on trying to get a quick bag, or if she if women weren't out here focused on money and da 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 da, like trying to shame women for, I guess, wanting to live a certain lifestyle, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, at the end of the day, yes, I mean, I know that there's a thing called risk management, you know what I'm saying, where but that just should not be the focus, you know what I'm saying? Like, a child lost a life, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was 19 years old, regardless of the fact her frontal lobe was not fully developed yet. So, regardless of whatever decisions that she was making or was doing or whatever, why is that the focus? Like, that don't need to be the focus. And it was definitely heartbreaking for me to just see so many comments. And girl, not even just the black women, but these dusty black men having the nerve to shame this young girl. And it's like, talking about, oh, she don't deserve no sympathy. First off, you are a black man. Like, I hope you have and keep the same energy. If I hope you and your family keep the same energy. If your black tail get unalived by a police officer, don't be out here looking for no sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just
Yeah.
I agree,
completely
because it was
disgusting.
wrong. It was wrong. Like I was just disgusted completely, because it brought me back to a place when I was 15, 16 years old. And oh, somebody's on here. Sorry. A new person. Sorry.
Okay. All right, you guys.
Welcome.
It's just Miss Monica. Hey, Monica. How you doing, sis? Did you have something to say?
How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good.
It's good to see
Uh,
you.
Pretty good.
I know. I'm working, and now my hours are like 1 to 10, so I don't be on here as much. So I pretty much in the morning I'm asleep.
I got you. I got you.
But hi. So pretty much, I'm gonna say this: that woman who had a video about Dakara's unalivement, she had the nerve, because I'm sorry, she looks like she's a streetwalker. I'm sorry, like the gall of you calling somebody a SW, but you look like you a straight up SW. Like, girl, stop. And then also, like, I kind of take myself when I was 19, or mainly a teenager. Yes, I would got in a man's car, but it'll be like she probably went on a date, and for safety purposes in her mind, I don't want this man to know where I live at. So we're going to go somewhere away from my house, and you pick me up at this place. And that's how I was at 19. I would be like, if I went on a date, I'd be like, I don't want you to know where I live at. So what you're going to do is meet me meet me at this corner, because I don't want you to know where I live at. You don't need to know where I live at. And he will pick me up and we'll go on a date. So it doesn't automatically means that she was like that. It could be many of factors going on. And I don't know why that was just the first instinct, because she was young. Like, no, there's like, no. And it's very disheartening, where this is a baby, this is a child who got into this who is not here no more. And the first thing I say is, oh, she was a SW and she deserved her death. And the black, and with the BM, like, that's the nerve of y'all. So maybe we should all BW women, maybe we should all just turn into these YT people and be like, next time a police officer pow you, oh, you deserved it. Next time, comply, sir. Don't try to argue. Comply. See, if you comply with the officers, you would have been alive. You don't get sympathy. Oh, you have a criminal record. That's the reason why they did what they did, because you are a THUG. You deserve that. And I'm just like, at this moment, with these male center women and these BM and these BMs, I'm at a point, I think we need to start giving them a taste of their own medicine.
I agree. Like I agree. And it's really sad. Like when I see these comments, like all those people in the comments saying that, and men, it takes me back to when I was 15 or 16 and I was dating somebody, right? And this is no lie. And so the mother was black, he was black, right? And I went home crying because the mother and the godmother, two black women, were in the kitchen calling me 304s, all because I had on some short shorts, right? That's what young ladies, little girls do, right? Mind you, I did not do anything disrespectful, none of that, right? All because I had on some short shorts. And this woman, this is no lie, I am 40, right? This woman to this day, she still cannot stand me. I never did anything to her. And mind you, it was so interesting. I found out that my high school sweetheart, which is her son, had stage 4 colon cancer, right? I reached out to her and I was like, you got my prayers or whatever, being a bigger person, right? Do you know this woman was still nasty to me? And you want to know what one of my best friends told me? They're like, D, you are a nice person, and like that's growth right there. It is. But she never has liked you. It is really sad. It says more so about her than it says about you, because she does not have no reason not to like you. But however, the fact that she was so nasty to you, vile, saying nasty things, saying stuff like, oh, well, I don't want my son dating her. She's a smut. She's a this and that. Mind you, graduated top of all my classes. And it was all because she found out that me and her son were engaging in sex or whatever, smex. And mind you, that didn't make me those things at all. And he started before I did. I was my first person or whatever. And it just really hurt me. Like in my life or whatever, I always have to wonder, like, will I have to go through this? Like, I'm sorry, but it hurts me when black women do this to other women, because I had to deal with it and I'm just tired of it.
I'm so sorry. I'm
I'm
so
just
sorry.
tired.
I'm gonna
The
tell you,
over
they were hating.
sexualization, the all of that. Like I remember having somebody in my family telling me, "Oh, Lena, that's my mom's name. You need to get her. Watch her. She got breasts. She gonna get pregnant." And it's so tiring. Like you're getting your cycle, and it's like you feel dirty because of stuff that people are saying to you, and it's not right. And I just don't like it for women and little girls. I'm tired of hearing the same story, and we got to do better because this is too much. I'm sorry, it's just too much.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that you're so
And I
upset.
just appreciate spaces like this because, they're safe and you get to say these things, but it's too much for people to keep doing this to people. And I just thank God for the guys that I've had in my life who mom has treated me with kindness. But it does hurt, it does to have to deal with that.
I'm so sorry. I really am. I'm so sorry, D.
No,
And
it's okay. It's not your fault. Like it's good for me to say this because I don't want this to happen to other women. Because I know that it does happen and it's not right. So like I shared this with my students in college when I taught as a professor. I told them, I don't want y'all to ever have to deal with none of these harsh realities. So I'm gonna help you, and I want you to know like the signs and stuff so that you don't have to experience this. And if you do, you'll know how to deal with it, and just know that it's not right and it's not fair. But I'll tell you this, she don't never have no man ever. She don't ever have no man. And she made him break up with me. And mind you, like he told me to this day, he was like, you were good to me. And he tried to get back with me. And I was like, I could never date you because your mother, I cannot forget that. That woman was so nasty to me. And at the end of the day, he was a great guy or whatever. And I broke up with him, when I was in college or whatever. But never could I date him again. Because you just don't treat people like that. Like she's never apologized. And even his father told her she was wrong. And she just never changed. This woman is sad. Some of these people, they really want to marry their sons or whatever. And she has a son, another son. And she still controls his life. And it's really sad. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem, D. You are definitely free to express yourself here for sure. I do think that what you said exposes a greater problem, with black women, sometimes older black women and also black women who have that like weird relationship with their sons where they actually really want them to be their boyfriend, where they want them to be their boyfriends or husbands. That does happen a lot in the black community. And I do think it happens because so many black men abandon their children and leave these women with kids and with all of these twisted, complicated emotions. But I'm gonna let everybody speak one more time before I get out of here. And I just want to say yet again, I really do. I'm very sorry, D, but I do feel glad that you're able to express yourself here and you feel comfortable to do so. Because I mean these things are like your story might touch someone else and help them work through whatever they're feeling. But let me start here at the top and then I work my way back down to the bottom. Go ahead, supervillain, if you have something to say.
As always gonna have something to say. So I'd just like to start with, again, as usual, thanking you for curating this space that allows Black women to be unapologetically and without judgment. Conversations, and anyone who ever has it on their heart, please don't ever, ever apologize for anything that you're feeling in this space. This is literally the one space on TikTok that allows Black women to just be. Okay, so don't ever feel sorry about it. I do want to say, before I do my closing out message, we were talking earlier about like retaliation, or like when black men refer to black women disparagingly, like in comments, and saying that they deserve it, that we should wait till the police does something. We don't have to wait for the police. They're their own apex predator. By the time we wait for the police, 100 of them would have knocked off another 100 of them themselves. So this is why I don't participate in whenever a story comes out about them, because it just won't be reciprocated. I want to end by saying, and I'm always, because at the end of the day, it's always going to be about women, but specifically black women and the behavior. I'm trying to get us to navigate in this world differently. I want you to speak to that little girl inside of you, validate her feelings, do something to make her happy. Again, healing is a journey. It is not a destination. It is continuous work. Again, I'm going to end by saying thank you so much, Drake, for doing this space. Y'all, please tap up the screen. It's free. Let's show her her appreciation that she more than deserves. Thank you, and y'all have a great rest of your day.
All right, all right. I appreciate you. Thank you, supervillain. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, when I was growing up, I think I told you guys I was raised like really religious and stuff, but I have large breasts. So when I started getting breasts, my mother would always tell me, like, hey, you always got to cover them up, cover them up, cover them up. So my mom had me going. I would never forget when she would take me to like the store or whatever to get clothes. I would have like a small skirt or a medium skirt and then like an extra large top. Like, because the top, of course, I was small everywhere, but she would have me wear the big top. You know what I'm saying? But as to cover my breasts. And even now, in my 40s to this day, I kind of stopped doing it now because my husband would be like, bro, what is your problem? Like, why in the world are you getting these extra large t-shirts when you need to get yourself a medium? So I think that a lot of this demonization of like black women and black girls for just existing in their bodies is actually disgusting. Like, you're developing breasts and now you feel just like Ms. D was saying, now you're ashamed about it. Now you feel like you, just because you have breasts, you got to wear a double XL or XL when you really should be wearing a small or a medium. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is something I even struggle with to this day. On, like, sometimes I'll just buy a large t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm supposed to have a medium. You know what I'm saying? So I understand totally what y'all are saying, and I really do think it's terrible. It is really terrible. But anyway, let me keep going, you guys, so that I can wrap this live up because I actually do got to do something. Let me go here to D, then Miss Simply Carmel, and then Miss Monica. Go ahead, D.
I appreciate you just having this space because I just, like I said, like it just feels good to just like say, things that's been going on, but like I just really hope that we get to a place in the community where we just, we start hugging on our young women, showing them love and uplifting them and stuff. Because it's really sad, like the stuff that Kelly Price said or whatever. That's not all Black women. I mean, I've had it. We've all had experiences with some individuals that were not great, right? But we still try to be the light because we don't want to be dark like those other people. And if we are anything like those people who have treated us like that, we would not be as great as individuals as we are. And so it's just really sad, it really is. And we just have to just keep, praying, not pushing religion, and just being a good light or whatever. If not religion, if you don't believe in religion. But it's just really, to the point where we gotta get away from the male-centeredness, get rid of those people in your life. Like stay away from them. They're toxic. They will be the unaliving of you. I'm so serious. Like the Shanquilla situation, all of oh my, that's just, I mean, it's just really sad. Like jealousy, any bit of jealousy that you feel in somebody, get rid of them. Cause it's real. Like seriously.
All right, and I got you. I got you, D. And once again, I just wanted to say I appreciate you, and I also appreciate you for sharing. And Gabrielle, I'm so sorry, girl. I skipped you. I'm so sorry. I think it's like when Supervillain dropped that I can't believe I skipped you. If you want to go last, Gabrielle, I can just have you go last, or if you want to go now, it's up to you.
Oh yeah, I can go now. Yeah, I'll be quick because I know the rest of the ladies have to go and you have to close out. But yeah, I mean, I have actually kind of just been taken aback listening to all of these stories from the ladies on the live. And again, this is why I really like. Obviously, we know that males as a collective are dangerous. This is why I always say I don't think male-centered women or women who go after other women in ways that are devaluing deserve grace. I know it's controversial because I know there are some people who say we should try to reach out to male-centered women, but these, like Dee was saying, these are the same women who are like shaming, underage girls or shaming girls who are growing up, or looking the other way when their husbands or boyfriends hurt girls, or terrorizing the girls that their sons date. Like when it comes to male-centered women and misogynistic men in general, there is really something inside of me, like emotionally, that just shuts off, like flipping a light switch. Like I'm being so serious when I say that. Like I viscerally, on like an energetic spiritual level, can't deal with them. I really do think they are just as dangerous, as the misogynistic men that we talk about. And I think that the sisterhood that has to be extended to like-minded women who also care about other women and girls, like I at this point, like I really do think it's so important to, like, like Dee was saying, if you really do get a hint of jealousy from another woman, or you just like get a bad vibe, I'm sorry, but I do agree with her about putting up that barrier, that distance. Like even if you don't know why you get that feeling, but you just internally feel that there's something off or something not right, even if it is someone that you've known, you really do have to cut that off. Because I just think, as a lot of the others ladies have said in the chat, we are living in a time where there probably are a lot of undiagnosed people who do genuinely have something wrong with them. Because it's like, how could you be an adult woman going after like a little girl, or like you were saying, triggered that lady who I guess had the facial teardrops tattoos, and she was making fun of like a 19-year-old. It's like, that is exactly what I'm talking about when I say that, like, male-centered women, like, they really, really are just as dangerous. Like, Ghislaine Maxwell was just as dangerous as Epstein. So that is like basically the ultimate male-centered woman. So that's why I really do think we as women have to protect ourselves. I love, Sugar, that you hold these spaces where like-minded women can come together and have community. So yeah, I mean, like Dee said in the comments, discernment, because things in 2025 really are like getting crazy. Like there's been an uptick of like we're hearing about more crazy stories. There's, women like the woman you were talking about triggered who was making fun of a 19-year-old. It's like something in that she couldn't just have sympathy for like a girl who lost her life. She had to come online and, I don't know, make jokes about her, say whatever she said. So yeah, I will land my plane there. But I love your lives. I'm always like checking TikTok and trying to like see if you're on and catch the live. But yeah, thank you for what you do.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Miss Gabrielle. I appreciate your perspective, and I definitely agree. And I appreciate your presence in the lives as well. You always have something great to say. Let me go down here. Lastly, oh, and thanks, Monica, if you're still in the chat. Thanks for coming, sis. It's been a while since I seen you. I know you said your shift changed, but I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you today. And also, of course, Supervillain. Always good to talk to her as well. Let me go over here to Miss Carmel.
Yes, hey Triggered. Yeah, and same. I'm always checking TikTok trying to see if you're on live. But yeah, I mean just from what all the ladies were saying, like I definitely agree and I definitely feel like, the violence and aggression towards us, BOK women and just women in general, it's just going to increase. I mean, we literally see everything unfolding before our eyes, and not only like triggered, like I love your space because it's like not only do you discuss and bring awareness to like the femicide rates and the issues in like the black community and like what really pertaining to like BOK women and just all of these issues bringing it to the light, but also the fact that you advocate for like the CCW, like the concealed carry. And I literally do like it's the same. Like I feel like a lot of women, like the women who are listening and everything like that. Like if you are in a stand your ground state, like it's definitely important to learn how to use, what I'm saying, a pew pew and arm a pew pew and just to protect yourself. I know you about to go, but I don't know if I had ever shared this story, but like it was one time when I remember I was in my 20s and I was like in a Dollar General or something like that, and it was this man that kept following me in the aisles, and he kept trying to talk to me, trying to ask me if I can give him my number, and I was like no, and child, let me tell you, that man started bombing me out in that damn Dollar General. Like he actually had got kicked out, but he actually waited for me to come outside and like drove past my car, and he was telling me that he was like an undercover police officer or something like that, but he was like off duty. But I didn't believe him for some reason at that time. I thought that maybe he was just trying to scare me. No, he actually got my tag number, and I remember he drove past my house with like some of his other police friends. Like they were like in police cruisers, and they drove past my house. And I remember at that time, I remember telling myself like that's the reason why I don't mess with the feds. Like as far as like calling the boys. um it's just because a lot of these, the men, like, I know that there's some women who are in the force too, but a lot of them are men, and they perpetrate violence. They have like they can have a badge or whatever, but a lot of them, they're men at the end of the day, like at the core, on a biological level. You know what I'm saying? Like they are aggressive, they are violent, they do, possess toxic masculinity and things like that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he was chose to harass women while he's off the clock, you know what I'm saying, and then drive past my house in police cruisers just to show, I guess it was just to show me that he can find out where I live at or have the ability to harass me. You know what I'm saying? So like yeah, I don't mess around with them. I mean, you know, not that I'm just like totally against calling the police or anything like that. Like yes, like if you are in a situation where you need to call the police, call the police. But I definitely feel like having your own piece of protection, like me, I keep a taser, I keep spray, I keep the pew pew, I mean all of that. So yeah, I mean I definitely feel like, as women we have to be like we're in a time where it's us against the world. You know what I'm saying? Especially us black women. Like it's us against the world. Like we have to do everything necessary to protect ourselves and our children. Like, I'm a single mom. I have kids. I have two boys and a girl. And, I definitely try to be like that role model for my kids. Like I go to therapy, I do what I need to do, I go to school, I work. I don't bring men, all around willy nilly. I seek therapy for my sons, for my kid, just all of that. So I definitely feel like as women, like it's our job. Like we can't be looking for men to protect us or anything like that. Like it's our job. Like it's our responsibility to protect ourselves and to choose safety over everything else. Safety over men, safety over romantic relationships, safety over marriage, safety over money, over riches, everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and land my plane. Thank you again, Trigger, for your space.
Oh, no problem at all. I appreciate you. And I just wanted to say again and reiterate, I don't know if Miss D is still in here, but I just wanted to say I really appreciate Miss D for telling her story. And I understand that it was very hurtful for her to, relive that. But, you never know like what things that you've experienced can help like other women, other young women or whatever, to understand that they're not alone, or to understand that other people have gone through it. And I just want to say I appreciate all of you ladies that came up here today, truthfully, and hopefully we can continue to have these conversations. And I just appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate y'all coming to the lives, and y'all like speaking life into me as well. Like I really do greatly appreciate it, and I want to say that I value you guys a lot. I really, really, truly do. Yeah. And that's really it, y'all. I will see y'all later, and I hope that y'all have a great rest of y'all Monday. And I'll try to come back tomorrow. If not, then I'll be back soon though, y'all. All right, I'll see y'all. Y'all have a great day. Bye bye.